Tuesday, April 29, 2025. If you are in the audience, please be reminded that this is being recorded, so if you could mute your devices. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we continue to celebrate National County Government Month, I'm excited to share that our 10th annual State of the County Report will officially launch tomorrow at report.franklincountyohio.gov. The report is structured around our 6 core principles of good governance and highlights the measurable ways our Board of Commissioners, agencies, and community partners are collaborating to support residents across Franklin County. This past year alone, we helped we created more than 8,300 new jobs, delivered over 2.7 million meals to seniors, and supported nearly 1,700 new units of affordable housing through our affordable housing programs. Our justice programs connected nearly 10,000 individuals to reentry services, and our economic inclusion efforts resulted in more than $56 million in contracts to minority and women-owned businesses. These accomplishments reflect our deep commitment to showing up differently, more intentionally, more compassionately, and meeting people where they are with the tools and opportunities they need to thrive. Be sure to check out the full report when it goes live tomorrow to see all of the work we're doing to move Franklin County forward together. We are focused on service, excellence, and progress daily for every resident. And then first up, or do we have anything to say about County Government Month other than the report will be live tomorrow? We'll see everyone at our State of the County luncheon, right? I see you all are really excited about it.
We always can talk about County Government Month if you want. I'm
Right.
happy to. I will not be at tomorrow's State of the County luncheon. I'll be flying to Washington to represent county government there at the Large Urban County Caucus fly-in. We're going to go, there's a group of us from around the country that are going to go see some folks on the Hill. I have a meeting with Senator Husted, Representative Beatty, and on Thursday, I have meetings at the White House. So we'll be doing that tomorrow and Thursday in honor of County Government Month. We're always happy to talk about county government, especially here in Franklin County, where we think we do it better. If we do say so ourselves, we think we do it better than everybody else does. April's always a great month, especially here, so.
I think that county government and counties are often overlooked. We tend to fall to the back burner when it comes to who your representatives are. I think people are just focused on usually your mayor or your city council members, but counties, we have a large budget. We do a lot, as you heard me say in my intro, all that we're doing for jobs, for housing, for those who have been justice involved. The county has a $2.2 billion budget. We move money every week. We are the largest social safety net for our neighbors in Franklin County, almost 1.4 million neighbors. And I'm proud of the work that we do each and every day. And I'm proud of the work that the employees of the county do. They are the driving force of all of the work. The commissioners have the vision, but it is our employees who implement that vision and make things happen each and every day. And so with that, I want to say thank you to all of the people who represent Team Franklin County.
Well, Madam President, if I might say, no matter how big the city is that you live in, whether it's a little village or New York or Los Angeles or certainly Columbus, everybody always knows who their mayor is. It's just, it's just a thing. Everybody always knows who the mayor of their city is. Generally speaking, people know who their governor is. People certainly know who the president of the United States is, but rarely does anybody know who their state representative is or their state senator, and certainly nobody ever knows who their county commissioners are. But I always argue that the more local your form of government, the more important the form of government is. And, county government touches people's lives more directly than most other forms of government. certainly the city, picks up your trash and plows your streets and does, those type of services. But the departments that are represented out here in the seats, and certainly Director Bivens or DCA Bivens's departments, impact people's lives on a daily basis. JPP directly impacts people's lives on a daily basis. And the elections that happen in I guess the years that people refer to as off years, 2025, those for municipal court judge, those elections impact people's lives more directly on a daily basis than the election for president of the United States ever will. But people don't see it that way, and so people come out to vote very heavily in a presidential election because it's passionate. It's something that they're very passionate about. But people ought to be coming out to vote, in this year's election much more heavily, because their life is going to be much more impacted by this year's local municipal elections more directly than their life will be impacted by the office of President of the United States. That's for certain. And so local government, county government, and municipal government is much more impactful on people's lives. And I wish people understood that and realized that and came out and voted it in that way, because these offices and municipal court and municipal races are very, very impactful in people's lives.
Yeah. Commissioner? Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. And to your very points, both of you, we were with the Human Services Chamber on Friday, I believe it was, and it was a very packed room due to a lot of the federal cuts that are happening. These are impacting our Human Services Chamber. But one of the things that they applauded you all for was being what I'm going to term a very human-centric commissioner board and less of a bureaucratic board, where they understand the impacts that you are all trying to make in ensuring that they deliver those services. And what they said was they see you fighting with them, in the trenches with them. Those are their words. They see you in the trenches
For
with
them, not with them.
and
right?
they were with them, and they were appreciative of that. So I wanted just to extend that, because listening to them and understanding what they see across the country as county commissioners are kind of far off the elected, kind of, the non-touchable. The way that they described it is, we can reach out and have a conversation, touch, and we know that we have a relationship with our county commissioners, and a lot of folks across the country cannot say that. So thank you.
Thank you for that. All right. First up, we're going to have Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 29925, resolution approving a subaward agreement with the City of Columbus, Office of the Mayor, Celebrate One for infant mortality interventions, health education, and outreach strategies in the amount of $799,999.30.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Carmen Barnes, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. Celebrate One is committed to addressing the challenge of infant mortality in our community, with a mission to ensure that every baby reaches their first birthday and beyond. Franklin County and our agency have been key partners to Celebrate One since its inception, focusing in recent years on awareness and behavior change campaigns around safe sleep and teen reproductive health, as well as connecting new parents with resources, including pack and play cribs. During the previous award period, Celebrate One connected over 1,600 families in ongoing community health initiatives, including community baby showers. They helped distribute over 6,000 sleep sacks and 679 survival kits from cribs for kids to families throughout Franklin County. They also maintain support for their teen reproductive health education program. Under this subaward, Celebrate One plans to expand its communication campaigns, maintain its support for teen reproductive health education, while at the same time drawing on research from Nationwide Children's Hospital to evaluate its effectiveness efforts by continuing to distribute cribs. This resolution aligns with the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 8, and joining us this morning, we have Celebrate One Executive Director Danielle Tong to address this resolution and answer any questions that you may have. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution. Director Tong.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administrators. Thank you for having me here today. As you heard, I am leading Celebrate One, the county's initiative to reduce infant mortality down to 5 by 2030. So what begs the question is, how are we doing if we're on the journey of getting to 5 by 2030? And I can answer that. We are making some progress. We currently rest at an infant mortality rate of 7.3, which, to provide some context, when we started this work 10 years before, we were at a 10.8. We still see disparities happening, though we currently have the lowest non-Hispanic Black infant mortality rate that we've had in the history of this work. It's at 10 deaths in every 1,000 live births, which is still well above what we need to get to in that area. But it is the lowest that we've ever seen. By contrast, we know that in non-Hispanic white babies, the infant mortality rate is 4.7, which is trending up a smidge from last year, but we know that in the last 5 years, that's still trending down. So we are making progress, certainly, on the goal to get ourselves to 5, but what does it look like to get us all the way there? What does that maintenance period look like? And I can tell you in the simplest terms, it is creating an environment where the villages around our families can thrive. What we know works is truly the village. And what that village looks like, it can be made up of a partner, it can be made up of a mom, a grandma, an auntie, it can be made up of a perinatal support doula, community health worker, home visitor, the OB-GYN nurses and physicians are all a part of the village of a family. And building that village, making sure that that family has the right people shepherding them through the pregnancy and the prenatal and postpartum phase is what we know gets the rates down. Celebrate One's responsibility is to not just connect families to services, but connect partners to one another and connect the system that currently exists, all the caring hearts, all the folks that are doing work in this space to one another, and to provide a weave of a safety net for the system that exists. What is the most important part for this village to know? So it's not just enough for them to exist, but what do they need to do and provide for a family? They need to be able to have some knowledge around infant care. They need to understand the risk factors for mom and baby, both prenatally and postpartum. And they need to be a critical advocate for the family in a healthcare setting. We need all three of those things together for a family to thrive. So this funding that we are requesting from you today, it really helps us build the environment, or as I like to say, enrich the soil that our families are in. And that's ultimately Celebrate One's responsibility. We're here to develop and strengthen the system and the network that families receive services in. So that looks like educating policymakers on all levels of government. That looks like educating our business owners. That looks like educating philanthropists. That also looks like educating moms, dads, grandmas, babysitters, and the like. It looks like ensuring that families have high-quality services, not just that the services hang a shingle and say, we're here, we're open for business, but how do we ensure that families are getting those services and that they're the best possible services? It looks like ensuring that birth work professionals have an environment where they can thrive, where they can reimburse for their services, and where that families can actually pay for the services that they receive. It looks like ensuring that that young people understand their bodies and have the tools they need to make the safest choices possible for them. So Celebrate One remains here to provide the linkages both to families and to the system at large. We are the organization that holds the accountable responsibility for making sure this gets done. And so we're grateful for your consideration this morning of the funding that we have requested that helps us push this work forward, and I am delighted to take questions.
Do you have any questions?
So this work started back like in 2010, 2011?
2014.
2014.
Mhm.
And we have been investing a significant amount of money in this work since the inception. I sat on the first work group that began this work. That's how old I am. I forgot which year we started it. But we've been happy to partner with you guys since the beginning. So, no, I appreciate you guys being here again this morning, so thank you.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to share with you how we're doing and share with you the good news that we're making progress and the news that we've got more to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I appreciate Commissioner O'Grady and the support that the board has given over the years. Commissioner O'Grady, one, he was the chair of LUG. His policy priority was around infant mortality, so I know that this is an issue that he deeply cares about from the national level for NACO. Can you tell me, why what we're doing to get at the disparity between even though we are decreasing overall infant mortality, we know that the disparity rate in general continues to increase. Can you talk to me about what we're doing to really try to impact the disparity level?
So that's a great question, and I'll say that the disparity rate this year, so what I've presented to you is preliminary data from ODH. The finalized data will be happening closer to the fall, but it's looking really good. We see that the disparity is decreasing, though it's not nearly where it needs to be. So there is some progress being made, and I just wanted to share that. The disparity is driven by a number of different things, but at the crux of it is how Black families experience all of the different inroads into the system that they encounter. And so that might be how they experience their medical providers, how they experience their all sorts of other providers, how they access the things that address their social determinants of health. And you have this margin of racial disparity that's baked into each one of those different systems. And we have the responsibility to address the racial disparity that is in each one of those verticals. So one of the places that Celebrate One has been active is, a good example of this is our housing program. We had a housing program that existed from around 2019 until present that housed up to this point around almost 200 families over that time. We currently have 32 families in this housing program, and almost all of those families were Black families. They were experiencing the housing system differently than our white families were, that caused them to be in this program in ways that other white families weren't. So that's one example of the way that Celebrate One has addressed racial disparities. Another way that Celebrate One is addressing racial disparities in the healthcare system. So we partnered with Nationwide Children's Hospital to provide education to partners and to providers, medical providers that can address racial biases that a provider might be bringing to an appointment. The final way that Celebrate One has historically been doing this is by supporting work regarding doulas. So doulas are an evidence-based intervention that works specifically for Black families. And the reason that it works is because, as we talked about in this village component, is that Black families need an advocate. They need an advocate in the medical setting. They need an advocate in each of these systems that we talked about. And a doula helps provide that advocacy along with all of that wise education that families need. So Celebrate One has supported doulas historically. We have long-standing relationships with Restoring Our Own Through Transformation. We're a big funder of theirs. And those are the ways that we're addressing it, and we're looking at putting pedal to the metal going forward.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Danielle, do you all have because I love the village conversation. I grew up at the village. And for those of you who don't know what the village is, if you lived in a neighborhood and someone saw you do something that you weren't supposed to be doing, it didn't have to be a family member. It was a neighbor that said, you know, you need to get home. And they called your mama or your daddy by the time you got there, you were in trouble. Or if they knew you had a baby, or if they saw you with a baby, they would say, hey, can I hold your baby for a little while? And, you know, try to assist in that way. So I love the village conversation, but my question is there like a checklist that you can provide to us as we're going out having conversations with churches and communities due to some of these cuts that we're making? We're asking them and pressing on them more now to become the village. So as we're out having these one-on-one conversations with them, is there a checklist we can give them and say, hey, if you see a mom with a baby, do these 3 things, ask these 3 questions, do this to the young lady or the couple next door where you see they may be a young couple. Like, do you have any of that information that we can get out?
Yes. So I wish I could say that it's 3 items and you're one and done, but that the village model doesn't work that way. But it is the concept of checking on families regularly. It's the concept of becoming knowledgeable yourself as just a person living in a village. We're all a part of a village. On what do risk factors look like? For example, preeclampsia. What do risk factors look like for maternal mental health conditions, and being able to identify those in your neighbors that you see? It looks like offering not just to hold the baby, which is a great one, but sometimes it means offering to wash the clothes or wash the dishes or prepare some foods or just be there while the baby's here so the family can get a nap. That's actually a big part of what we see is missing, and we're trying to bridge these gaps by kind of pushing healthcare professionals into those places, but the village is really what's necessary. So I wish it was a concise check off these 3 things. It really is care for your neighbors, watch out for them. The way that we watch out for our neighbor when they go out of town, and we make sure nobody's the same thing across the pew, and it's really a system of care. Does that answer your question?
This is a great conversation. To Commissioner Crowley's point, the reason that we made it, we made infant mortality a part of the platform for the large urban county caucus was because we realized that this was not, that there wasn't a geographic, this wasn't a geographic or issue that my colleagues, our colleagues across the country were dealing with this. It didn't matter if it was, you know, here in Ohio or in the Midwest, that we had colleagues all across the United States, in California, New York, and in the South and in the Southwest, that were dealing with this issue all across in urban counties all across the country. And so we made it a hallmark of the 2 years that I was the chair of the large urban county caucus.
Thank you for doing that. Truly, thank you. It's a national problem. Ohio has a lot of work to do. But it is something that the entirety of the United States has a lot of work to do as well. And we will see these rates sustainably move when the federal government and state governments all align together, which is part of Celebrate One's responsibility.
Well, Commissioner Crowley was a big proponent for doulas in the state legislature. Problem was she couldn't get her colleagues across the aisle to support her in that effort, so.
I know that in the state budget or in the House version of the budget, there is reimbursement for doulas only for particular geographic areas. So the fight for reimbursement for doulas continues, but the fight for infant vitality and maternal health continues to be a priority of this board. And we just have more work to do to get people to really see, like, having one baby die is one too many, and that the House should be on fire for everyone to make sure that we get to a 0% infant mortality rate. I know that's hard, but we can do better for sure.
Well, I ask the commissioners to wish me luck because I'm headed to the State House immediately after this to have just that conversation around doula access, the changes that occurred in the House budget, and the $1.5 million that was lost to infant vitality in the House budget immediately after this. So please do wish me luck.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
just
you.
getting ready to say, go get them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Well, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 29925.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 29925 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, domestic relations.
Resolution number 300-25, resolution authorizing a First Amendment with Forum Ohio LLC for various psychological services in the amount of $600,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Alice Coughlin, Fiscal Manager. This resolution seeks to amend the existing two-year contract with Forum Ohio for psychological services by increasing the contract's maximum amount by $200,000, bringing the total to $600,000. This increase is necessary due to a significant rise in the number of competency evaluations. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 325.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 300-25 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, municipal court.
Resolution number 30125, resolution authorizing an agreement with the Franklin County Municipal Court to provide legal counsel to indigent persons in the amount of $50,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Emily Shaw, Court Administrator for the Municipal Court, and with me is John Davenport, Deputy Administrator for the Court. The Court's before you today seeking to enter into a contract for $50,000, which would provide payment to Franklin County for court-appointed counsel fees. The court appoints counsel for persons who are charged with criminal violations of municipal ordinances and who've met the financial requirements and guidelines, and for whom the public defender may not represent due to a conflict of interest. So pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval, and also would like to say that we do appreciate your partnership with the municipal court. We're not here all the time, but we do interact tremendously with each other, and like to express that appreciation.
Absolutely. Thank you.
If you don't mind, Commissioner, or Madam President, we brag about Team Franklin County a lot. These are two longtime friends. I won't say old friends, I'll say longtime friends. And these are two Franklin County rock stars. So I've known Emily and John as long as I've been a part of Team Franklin County, since before I became a county commissioner. So I just wanted to shout out to these two folks. They've
Thank you.
they've been here longer than me, actually.
35 years.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
longer than me.
Not me.
But these are two of Franklin County's finest, so.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
And if there aren't any other comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30125.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30125 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the engineer, and we have a public hearing for Resolution 30225. Can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Final right-of-way hearing for Ennis Road from Cleveland Avenue to Westerville Road.
I would like to open the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to speak on this public hearing? Seeing none, I would like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 30225, final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of Ennis Road, County Road number 171, from Cleveland Avenue, County Road number 75, to Westerville Road, State Route 3, Clinton Township and Mifflin Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks approval of the right-of-way plans for the Ennis Road Improvement Project located in central Franklin County in Clinton and Mifflin Township. This project is funded by ODOT safety dollars. Improvements include new sidewalk and curb and gutter replacement, along with the reconfiguration of Ennis Road using buffered bike lanes on both sides of the road. Approval of this resolution allows for our office to move forward with the necessary acquisition process. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30225.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30225 has been adopted. Resolution number 30325, petition filed for the vacation of unnamed alleys located in the Rome Manor subdivision, Prairie Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
The Perry Township Board of Trustees has filed a petition to vacate unnamed alleys located in the Rome Manor subdivision. Approval of this resolution would declare the petition valid and allow the engineer's office to move forward with the preparation of a report regarding the appropriations of the vacancy, or of the vacation. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
I don't have any questions. I do have a comment as we were talking about county or National County Government Month. I know we have Jim Jewell here, who is the Township Administrator for Prairie Township. And so when I think about county government, obviously we couldn't do the work necessary without relationships with our townships, just like any other municipal government system. And so our township trustees, they matter, but also the administrators. So thank you for being here today. Just want to recognize you. All right.
Well, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30325.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
yes.
Resolution number 30325 has been adopted. Resolution number 30425, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Structural Technologies of Maryland LLC for Beach Road 0.00 Bridge over Big Darby Creek in the amount of $1,929,233.23.
The Beach Ridge Bridge over Big Darby Creek is located in western Franklin County in Brown Township. The project is funded through ODOT's local major bridge program and seeks repair the bridge by investing in repairing grout voids and ducts, performing girder repair and other various work. Structural Technologies of Maryland LLC was selected via the competitive bid process with the bid opening on April 3rd, 2025. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
Beach Road Bridge is part of my childhood. Grew up around, not far from it, used to ride my bike there with friends as a kid, used to jump off of it. Then you guys made it really, really nice. It was an old rusty, structurally unsound bridge when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30425.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
yes.
Resolution number 30425 has been adopted.
I won't make any comments about what else we used to do in that area. It's for another time.
Resolution number 30525, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Complete General Construction Company for West North Broadway 1.18 over Olentangy River in the amount of $2,862,930.42.
The West North Broadway Bridge over Olentangy River is located in north central Franklin County in the city of Columbus. This project is funded with ODOT Local Major Bridge Program and OPWC dollars and seeks to repair the bridge by applying an overlay and installing a concrete barrier to provide a shared use path on the south side of the bridge and a sidewalk on the north side of the bridge. Complete General Construction Company was selected via a competitive bid process with a bid open on April 1st, 2025. Any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30525.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
yes.
Resolution number 30525 has been adopted. Resolution number 30625, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to V3 Construction Group Limited for Zuber Road Plum Run Drainage Improvements, Section 1, in the amount of $398,500.
The Zuber Run Plum Run Drainage Project is located in southwest Franklin County in Jackson Township. The project is funded with OPWC dollars and seeks to improve drainage in the area. V3 Construction Group was selected via the competitive bid process with a bid open on April 1st, 2025. Our EBE program has been implemented, and the EBE goal is 8%. The utilization plan form submitted by V3 Construction Group anticipates the actual EBE percentage exceeding 8% on this project. Pending questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30625.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
yes.
Resolution number 30625 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Next up, we have the sheriff.
Resolution number 30725, resolution authorizing an agreement with Vanguard Blue LLC to provide a real-time secure streaming video feed for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Unmanned Aircraft System Unit in the amount of $8,100.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. Our resolution authorizes an agreement with Vanguard Blue. This software will allow our office to provide real-time, low latency, and secure streaming video feed for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office drone team. The term of this agreement is from May 1st of this year through April 30th of next year. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30725.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30725 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Have a good one. Next, we
You
have
too.
Franklin County Data Center.
Resolution number 30825, resolution authorizing a customer agreement with Atlassian Limited Liability Partnership for mutually agreed upon terms and conditions governing future procurements.
Good morning, Julie Lest with the Data Center. Negotiated by the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, this customer agreement will be the master agreement for all procurements of Atlassian products as the Data Center expands this work management software to other county agencies, courts, and boards. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30825.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30825 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Resolution number 30925, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with the Women's Center for Economic Opportunity to support small and emerging business enterprises in the amount of $177,500.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The Women's Center of Economic Opportunity has worked to equip, elevate, and empower socially and economically women to access the knowledge and resources they need to create generational wealth and a legacy of economic impact. With this investment, they intend to launch the Advancing Entrepreneurial Mobility in Franklin County, an initiative designed to support the growth and success of small and emerging business enterprises. WCEO will develop and facilitate a series of business development boot camps and accelerators beginning in fall 2025. Up to 100 entrepreneurs will participate in these workshops, which will focus on essential topics such as capital readiness, marketing, branding, contract processing, and county procurement navigation. These sessions are intended to equip participants with practical tools, expanded networks, and the skills needed to successfully pursue county contract opportunities. This resolution reflects the county's commitment to inclusive economic growth and represent an intentional effort to evaluate SCBE participation in public contracting, strengthen relationships between county agencies and local entrepreneurs, and ensure that economic mobility is accessible to all Franklin County businesses. This resolution supports goals number 1, 2, 4, and 5 of the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 30925.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30925 has been adopted. Resolution number 31025, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Trevitt New Life on behalf of the 22nd Foundation for the implementation of a mental health and economic inclusion initiative in the amount of $259,000.
Commissioners, this resolution will support Summer 614 to be held on May 30th and May 31st at the Columbus Commons, supporting health and wellness by providing access to music therapy rides that includes a comprehensive wellness and community engagement initiative rooted in the power of music and creative expression to promote mental health and social connection. It will also support Word Wellness, July 18th, for local art exploration, tennis and tunes for youth physical wealth, mindfulness, and social engagement, as well as 614 Fest on August 9th. Summer 614 and the Funk Fest will feature collaboration with Franklin County Office on Aging for Caregivers Connection and access for caregivers and seniors, providing valuable resources, tools, and support for senior services, older adults, and county resources, and mental and physical wellness. This resolution supports goals number 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31025.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31025 has been adopted. Resolution number 31125, resolution authorizing a vendor agreement with Leadership at Its Best for the provision of promotional marketing and programming support services for the Franklin County Mental Health Empowerment Summit in the amount of $11,250.
Commissioners, Leadership at Its Best will serve as the primary strategist for the Franklin County Empowerment Summit. taking on a key role in supporting the development and execution of the event's communications and resource materials. The organization will be responsible for a variety of critical tasks, including the development of compelling content for the Franklin County Empowerment Resource Guide and Handbook, as well as the creation of graphic design concepts that align with the summit's vision and objectives. Leadership at its best will oversee the full production process for these materials, ensuring they are thoughtfully designed, well organized, and effectively communicated through the summit's key messages to participants. Their involvement will be essential in creating a professional impact resource that supports the event's goals of empowering individuals and raising awareness about mental health and community. Here to talk more about the Empowerment Summit is David Kimbrough, Deputy Director of Strategic Initiatives.
Commissioners, before David, can I just make mention just really quick, the resource guide for everyone to understand. Adam H. currently has a resource guide that was done, I think, 10, 15 years ago. So it's really outdated. A lot of resources have come on scale since then. This will be, this resource guide will be in partnership with Adam H. in making sure we collect all of the mental health resources across our community. And there will be hard copy as well as a digital copy that residents will have access to. And last time I checked yesterday, I think we were up to 90 pages.
Okay.
It'll be co-branded, and this is one of the three things that Commissioner Boyce had requested as a tangible item coming into this this summit.
Okay, I know Commissioner Boyce is online too, and I know, David, you were going to make some comments, and then I will defer to Commissioner Boyce.
Great. I just wanted to, just first of all, thank you all, Commissioner, Madam President, Commissioner O'Grady. I guess I can lift this up. Yeah. Well, it's not. There we are. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, sorry about that. Now you can hear me. Maybe too much, but just wanted to thank you all for your support and your desires when it comes to this mental health summit. I know that when we think about mental health in Franklin County, 1 in 5 of us, right now in Franklin County, 1 in 5 of us are dealing with some sort of mental illness, according to our Columbus Public Health. And so we understand that these are things that we need to make sure that we address. And I just applaud you all for your thought process and your diligence to make sure that we get so that we get the word out, not only the word out to people, but providing real live resources and tangible resources for people to take advantage of. And so that this is not something that is in the shadows or anything, but it's out front. And we can make sure that we are addressing this in a way that is so that we can deal with our mental health more like we deal with our physical health, right? And so I think that is one of the things that also Commissioner Boyce wanted to press forward, the mental health parity that there is. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, any comments, oh, absolutely. So I'll May 19th, May 19th, May 19th, May 19th, May 19th. And so we'll be there. There will be a special part of our summit that is designed for youth and our seniors to do an intergenerational type of session so that we can kind of bring those minds together. And then from 3 to 8 p.m. So we're all day long, everybody. So come on in when you get an opportunity. But from 3 to 8 p.m. we'll also be there. Dinner will be served. And so we'll have local voices, national voices coming to speak about their particular interactions with mental health and their journeys, and also great resources. Clinicians will be there, and so we're making sure that this is an event where everybody can get something and they don't have to leave without knowing that they've made a connection, either be resource or clinician.
Absolutely. Commissioner Boyce?
Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm from Washington, D.C. Sorry I couldn't be there today. I really think it was all covered. I'd only add two things. One, think of the resource book as a mental health yellow pages. For those of you who may not be familiar with yellow pages, it used to be a book that we would get every year, that had every business, every person in it. It was a phone book, and but when you needed something, it was the internet, the hard internet, the hard paperback internet, basically. When you needed something, you went to the yellow pages and found what you needed. And so that's what the resource book is going to be designed for people who might have addiction services needs, mental health needs, or other drug and alcohol service needs. It'll be kind of a one-stop shop book that will be disseminated through the Adam H. Board. The second thing is David mentioned the mental health parity. You know, this journey and this conversation around awareness of providing resources needed for people to address mental health is rooted in health care coverage that doesn't equally cover your mental health like it does your physical health. And so we are really advocating for mental health parity and for insurance companies to allow for mental health coverage like they do physical health coverage. And then finally, we're expecting over 1,500 people to attend the conference, and the feedback that we've gotten from the community has been just tremendous. And so we expect a full crowd on a full day with some really strong headliners like Wallow and Gilly. Maurice Claret is going to be sharing his journey and story, and many others. And so if you haven't accessed information, I'm sure David can provide the website where you can go register before it's too late. So with that being said, thank you so much for the support, and looking forward to May 19th and all those who will be attending.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. And I know we'll talk more about mental health next month with Mental Health Awareness Month kicks off. But, you know, this conversation is very timely. People in the community are dealing with mental illness, and as you said, people continue to be in the shadows. We have to have a conversation. We have to make these conversations happen more often and more frequent so we can break stigma. I've talked about my mental health journey, won't go into it today. I'll talk more about it next month. But people are looking for resources. They're looking for relatability. They're looking for, the conversations to happen so they don't feel like they're alone or they're isolated, or that they're dealing with something that nobody else is dealing with. And so, I appreciate Commissioner Boyce and his efforts to bring this summit, to have the conversations, and I appreciate this board of commissioners that continues to make mental health resources available, whether it's through Credible Minds or through our partnership with Adam H. Or other organizations through community partnerships. We really prioritize mental well-being. And we don't just talk it, we walk it. And so I just really, this is a great gig. I say that all the time, being a commissioner, but it's a great gig because you get to work with people who understand the needs of the community and just get it. So looking forward to the summit on May 19th.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. If there are no other comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31125.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31125 has been adopted. Resolution number 31225, resolution authorizing a vendor agreement with 100 Black Men of Central Ohio to support the marketing, promotion, and programming of the Franklin County Mental Health Empowerment Summit in the amount of $40,000.
In support of the Mental Health Empowerment Summit, the 100 Black Men of Central Ohio organization will serve as a catalyst for driving collaboration initiatives that promote and host a diverse range of mental health and mentorship programs. The organization plays a pivotal role in advancing health and wellness throughout Franklin County and the greater Columbus area. The vendor will be responsible for designing and delivering marketing and promotion for Franklin County's Board of Commissioners Mental Health Empowerment Summit. The 100 Black Men of Central Ohio organization will be responsible for providing leadership development and mentorship workshops focused on STEM, financial literacy, college, and career readiness. This agreement not only supports their efforts for the Mental Health Empowerment Summit, but also will support the programming of the 100 Black men throughout this contract agreement. This resolution supports the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint, goal number 9, reducing the overall incidence and racial disparities, occurrences of preventable diseases and trauma. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31225.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31225 has been adopted. Resolution number 31325, resolution authorizing a vendor agreement with Warhol and Wall Street for the provision of promotional, marketing, and programming services for the Franklin County Mental Health Empowerment Summit in the amount of $12,000.
The Warhol and Wall Street key deliverables will include the strategic planning and editorial development for the Franklin County Mental Health Empowerment Summit Information Resource Guide and Handbook. We've heard about the vital tool and the key resources that the resource guide will provide, and so they will come along and also oversee the design, layout, and final production of all printed and digital materials related to the summit. This agreement will serve approximately 1,000 or more of youth and adults during the Franklin County Board of Commissioners Empowerment Summit. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31325.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31325 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Next up, Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 31425, resolution authorizing an economic development grant agreement with Rev One Ventures for support of the Entrepreneurial Services Provider Program in the amount of $300,000.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning.
Commissioner.
Morning.
Emmanuel Torres, Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. This first resolution seeks your approval to authorize the 2025 Annual Partner Agreement with Rev One Ventures in support of their State of Ohio Entrepreneurial Services Provider Program. This agreement continues efforts of this board to assist in the area of technology startup companies, and this funding allows Rev One to access the Ohio Third Frontier grant dollars on a one-to-one ratio. Joining us today, we have Christy Campbell, Chief Operations Officer at Rev One, to share some highlights of the program, and after which, and pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Good morning, Madam President, Commissioners, and Economic Development leaders. Thank you so much for having us here today. We continue to just be thrilled to have your support for our nonprofit work to help entrepreneurs build great companies here in our backyard. This is advisory and funding that is really not available elsewhere in our community, and so you are such an important partner to help us create that infrastructure. The services that we provide really start with early product market validation to help ensure that entrepreneurs are building products that their customers want, and then it continues on to help those companies to raise to generate first revenue from their customers and to raise capital, and ultimately to position them for the foundations of success. If we look just last year alone, based on the companies that we supported, in this county, 149 companies received support through programming in our boot camp or our accelerator. Those companies just last year generated $500 million in impact to the community, and that is through the revenue they generate, the capital that they attract to their companies. We also have investment funds on our capital side, and we invested $8.8 million into Franklin County companies last year. Just to give you a couple of examples to make it a little bit more real, the types of companies that we support. It was interesting to hear the update on Celebrate One this morning. Stride HX is a company that's actually working also to improve maternal health. This is a founder from our community, Joseph Asante, who is creating a software app that helps to better connect especially women and minority women, especially from underserved communities, to their health care providers and also connect them to resources. We've been working with Joseph and his team since about 2021. He's gone through our boot camp. He had some additional services through our partner, Aventi Enterprises, and is now in our accelerator. So he's working alongside 10 other companies who will be continuing to build their business and then present to a group of investors at our showcase on May 21st. So that's one of the exciting companies we're working with. On the other end of the spectrum, a very different type of healthcare treatment, we are working with a company called Basking Biosciences in our community. This is something coming out of our research institution. So founder Shahid Nimji is a renowned neurosurgeon here at the OSU Wexner Medical Center. He graduated from Duke University and is creating a new novel stroke treatment. Something I was not aware of is that only 7% of folks who have a stroke are actually treatable. So typically the treatment comes too late, or and oftentimes the treatment actually causes adverse reactions, including bleeding. So a very big opportunity, a very big market. What Shahid and the team are creating is a new novel clot-busting treatment that will allow patients to be treated much later, and also for patients who do have adverse effects from the treatment, it can actually be reversed. So this is something that what he and the team are doing will not only create impacts in our community, but could revolutionize healthcare. We've been working with that company for the past 5 years. We're the first investors alongside our partners, OSU and Nationwide Children's, and really excited that just in February, that company just raised $55 million from a large life sciences venture capital firm called Arch Ventures. So they are out testing that actually with patients. So just a couple of examples of the companies we're privileged to support. And I thank you again for your support and open to any questions that you have.
Yeah, no, I don't have any questions. Thank you for that. I said this when you were here last week, or
It was last Tuesday,
last week.
yeah.
Time sure does fly. It's important for us to know those things, right?
Yes.
Like as we're out in the community and they're like, what are you doing to support small and emerging businesses, or what are you doing for access to healthcare? We can talk about, well, we invest in Rev One and they invest in, startups or venture capitalists to revolutionize healthcare. And so thank you for sharing that, because we need to know this information so we can make others aware of how we're making more impact.
And thank you for the reminder of that. I think sometimes we get stuck in the data and we probably don't do a great job of talking about the stories of the founders, so I appreciate that. We do want to make a plug for our Innovation Hop, which is on May 22nd. That's a good opportunity for anyone who's interested in learning more about this to come and meet in person. A lot of these founders, about 55 companies, will be presenting at our Innovation Center on OSU's district. So 4 to 7 p.m. Would love to see you all there. Yes, so anyone can reach out at any time. We funnel everyone through our website so that it's all a very consistent experience. And then for those who are building something that is tech-enabled or research-based, who is located here within the Central Ohio region and who is able to show potential for a high-growth business model, that part's a little harder to discern in the beginning. They are available to take advantage of our resources, which start with our boot camp. That happens 4 times a year. It's 3 days over the course of 2 weeks. From there, they can take advantage of the accelerator that's all about a business model you can put in front of investors. So yes, anytime you run into an entrepreneur that you think might be a fit, please send them to rev1ventures.com.
Thank you.
It was great stuff. All right, I will, if there aren't any other comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31425.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31425 has been adopted. Resolution number 31525. Case number ANX-09-25, review of petition to annex 0.831 acres, more or less, from Jackson Township to the city of Grove City.
Commissioners, this next resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, case number ANX 0925. The area to be annexed, as described in the petition, includes Franklin County Auditor's Office Parcel ID 160-000-440, which is located at 2136 Sonora Drive. The city has passed an ordinance indicating that services will be provided once the annexation is approved. The petition does meet all statutory requirements outlined in Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31525.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31525 has been adopted. Resolution number 31625, case number ANX-10-25, review of petition to annex 13.618 acres, more or less, from Franklin Township to the city of Columbus.
Commissioners, this resolution, also an expedited Type 2 annexation petition. The area to be annexed is described in the petition, includes parcel ID 140-007141 located at 1350 Dyer Road. The city has passed an ordinance indicating services will be provided once annexation is approved. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31625.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31625 has been adopted. Resolution number 31725, case number ANX-11-25, review of petition to annex 22.1 acres, more or less, from Jackson Township and Franklin Township to the city of Columbus.
Commissioners, this last resolution, also an expedited Type 2 annexation petition. The area to be annexed includes 3 parcels. They're located at 3041 Jackson Place, 2829 Jackson Place, and a portion of the 171, the I-71 right-of-way. The city has passed an ordinance indicating that services will be provided once the annexation is approved. Petition does meet all statutory requirements outlined in Section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code. And pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31725.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31725 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Next up, we have fleet management.
Resolution number 31825, resolution approving an agreement with Churchill Claims Services Incorporated for automobile claims adjuster services and authorizing the county administrator to execute the necessary documents in the amount of $75,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. The resolution before you is requesting authorization to enter into an agreement with Churchill Adjuster Service to handle processing vehicle accident claims that are not the fault of our driver. The Commissioners have a fleet of approximately 500 vehicles that travel in excess of 4.5 million miles annually. With that much driving, we're apt to have some accidents. Annually, we average about 85 accidents per year, and about half of those are the other driver's fault. Fleet management staff has always handled the accident claims. Each accident claim can take hours to complete. The insurance industry is vast, and each company operates differently, requiring different documents submitted differently, multiple claims representatives operating in each facet. I have handled the accidents for the county for over 30 years, and I have experienced so much frustration in the last couple of years based on the new process that I needed some help. After consulting with the prosecuting attorney's office for ideas on how to make this claims process more efficient, I investigated options of outside assistance. I believe an accident adjuster service would be beneficial for us. They specialize in vehicle claims management and are familiar with all the companies within the insurance industry. I believe that they can bring to the county time efficiencies and cost effectiveness. This agreement with Churchill Claims Service will help us determine if that can indeed happen and be more efficient and cost effective. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31825.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 31825 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Next up, Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 31925, resolution approving a subboard agreement with Impact Community Action for the Housing Navigation Program in the amount of $300,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Carmen Barnes, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. Job and Family Services has partnered with the Impact Community Action since 2021 to offer a housing navigation program that enables families experiencing housing instability to acquire the tools and skills necessary to support housing and financial stability. During the previous program year, the Housing Navigation Program supported 113 families with their housing and financial needs. Staff also successfully assisted 80 families in securing housing and provided roughly $45,000 in financial assistance to 33 families. The program also offered services such as eviction prevention training, landlord-tenant conflict resolution, financial literacy assistance, and assistance with acquiring furniture and household appliances. During this award period, we will work with Impact to set new targets of serving 300 families. They've also increased the goal of families to be enrolled and successfully completing the program to 80%. This resolution supports the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 6, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 31925.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 31925 has been adopted. Resolution number 32025, resolution approving a subaward with Jewish Family Services for workplace employment services in the amount of $100,000.
The Jewish Family Services Community Renewal Enrichment Through Work program helps build self-sufficiency and provides workforce and soft skill development for Franklin County residents seeking employment. Using an integrated service model, program participants are assigned to a career counselor to assist them in creating individual employment plans and helping them achieve their career goals and removing barriers to employment. The job-seeking clients served by Jewish Family Services have incomes at or below 200% of the federal poverty level and represent a diverse population throughout Franklin County. During the last award period, 70 enrolled residents attained employment, earning an average hourly wage of $19.23. Under this year's award, Jewish Family Services will serve an estimated 50 Franklin County job seekers and connect them with employment opportunities that offer no less than $15 per hour. This resolution aligns with the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 4, and pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32025.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32025 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 32125, resolution authorizing a modification to the subgrant award agreement with Our Brothers Keepers through the FY25 Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $49,990.
Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Pearson, Chief Operating Officer with the Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Commissioners, on February the 18th, Our Brothers Keepers was awarded funding through the FY 2024 Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $75,000 for transitional housing services through June 2025. Given the tremendous need for affordable housing and other supportive services, our office has allocated an additional $49,999 to expand their ability to serve an additional 50 individuals. This resolution supports goals 2 and 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we would respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32125.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32125 has been adopted. Resolution number 32225, resolution authorizing a subgrant award with Mental Health America of Ohio for community-based services for support of a peer recovery supporter, community event, and job fair under the FY 2025 Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $5,000.
Mental Health America of Ohio serves as the primary local oversight agency for the Peer Support Certification Program, supporting the certification process, training, and continuing education. On June 3rd, Mental Health of America will host their annual Peer Support Conference, which is intended to recruit new peers, offer networking opportunities, and link certified peers with employers. This mini grant of $5,000 from the Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program will help to offset costs for speaker fees and equipment rental. This resolution supports Goal 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint for reducing poverty, and pending any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32225.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 32225 has been adopted. Resolution number 32325, resolution authorizing 4 subgrant awards and contracts for services to provide public safety and crime reduction initiatives under the FY 2024 Justice Assistance Grant in the amount of $305,734.
Commissioners, the FY 2024 JAG Grant supports a wide variety of public safety efforts. This resolution requests your approval of 4 subgrant awards to the city, one to the City of Columbus in the amount of $149,400 to support the purchase of a mass spectrometry chemical detection system, say that 3 times fast, $16,334 for youth violence prevention activities for the City of Whitehall, and 1 award totaling $40,000 to the municipal court for probation officer training. And finally, an award to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $100,000 to continue support of the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and the HOPE Task Force Analyst position. This resolution supports Goals 2 and 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32325.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 32325 has been adopted. Resolution number 32425, resolution authorizing funding to provide light refreshments for the Criminal Justice and Community Corrections Planning Board Strategic Planning Retreat in the amount of $1,200.
Commissioners, on May 15th, members of the Criminal Justice Planning Board will come together for a day-long strategic planning session with the goal of releasing an updated comprehensive justice plan, also dubbed our Blueprint to Smart Justice. Recognizing the short amount of time we'll have these esteemed board members at the retreat and the tremendous amount of focused planning necessary, we are requesting funds in the amount of $1,200 to support a light lunch and refreshments. Pending any questions, we would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32425.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 32425 has been adopted.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next up, purchasing.
Resolution number 32525, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,208,952.77.
Good morning. Oh, my goodness. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Megan Perry Valenier, Director of Purchasing, and I'm presenting this morning with D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Commissioners, this first resolution requests your approval of 82 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding, and I'll turn it over to Chief Withers to share the supplier diversity data.
Thanks, Megan. 10 of the purchase orders being presented are being awarded to small and emerging businesses totaling $94,142.11. These awards are distributed as follows: 1% to small and emerging businesses and 11% to women-owned businesses. Once approved, 4 agencies will have provided equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week, which includes the Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Human Resources, and the Sheriff Department. Year to date, Franklin County Board of Commissioner agencies have awarded 211 purchase orders to small and emerging businesses, totaling $13,883,850.20. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32525.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 32525 has been adopted. Resolution number 32625, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $43,936.25.
Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of 3 purchase orders. The county auditor has pre-certified available funding, and pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32625.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32625 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 32725, resolution authorizing the execution of separate subgrant agreements by Franklin County Children's Services, Job and Family Services, and the Child Support Enforcement Agency with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy County Administrator. This resolution authorizes the execution of separate subgrant agreements with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for state fiscal years 2026 and 2027 for the receipt of federal and state human services funding for Franklin County Children's Services, Job and Family Services, and the Child Support Enforcement Agency. Pending any questions, we recommend your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32725.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32725 has been adopted. Resolution number 32825, resolution appointing Mallory Donaldson to the Central Ohio Transit Authority Board of Trustees.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Michael Ruhrman, Assistant Director of Community Appointments. This first resolution is for Mallory Donaldson, appointing to the Central Ohio Transit Authority Board of Trustees to fill an unexpired term ending March 30th, 2026. Pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32825.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32825 has been adopted. Resolution number 32925, resolution appointing Keith Jones to the Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority Board of Directors.
Our final resolution is to appoint Keith Jones to the Columbus Franklin County Finance Authority Board of Directors for a term ending April 30th, 2029. Pending any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 32925.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 32925 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any journalizations?
We do not.
Thank you. Next up, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 33025, resolution of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to convene into executive session for the purpose of considering personnel matters and to confer with the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office concerning pending or imminent litigation.
I'd like to move to convene into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, to confer with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject of pending or imminent court action.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 33025 has been adopted to convene into executive session.